So welcome to day 112 of Scaling My Marketing Agency to 10k a month. Today, well, as you can see from a few things, I got a haircut. I'm in a completely different location, obviously, today than what you saw yesterday, and given the fact that I've moved home, so you're like, well, where am I? And the fact that yesterday's video was essentially a video of, if you got past the 2 minute mark, you would have seen that the second half of the video was technically all about kind of burnout and essentially the risks with it, and kind of what can happen essentially, as if it can come from like a lot of different sources in a sense, but the main one being that for me, a lot of the burnout, instead of it being, well, because burnout isn't physically from like you're just working non-stop, it's what comes with it, which is obviously the fact that you're working a lot and you're not giving yourself time to rest. The thing with me is that a lot of the time I wasn't working all the time, but I was still not giving myself time to rest. So for example, when I did have rest time, I just wasn't resting, like whatsoever. I just was not resting. And then what that meant was that it was as good as I was just doing work like 100% of the time, because when I wasn't working, I was just constantly thinking about the job, essentially. And yeah, that's obviously not a good place to be in, because it leads to exactly what happened yesterday, where I just kind of had a meltdown and was like completely overwhelmed by everything going on in the business, compared to now today thinking almost the opposite of, I need to find like really specific things for me to spend my time on, because I don't have a crazy amount of stuff to do, actually. So the difference in today was I was thinking about, okay, I really want to think about client results, because that's something that's really important to me at the moment, given the fact that I was worried about that and wanted to make sure that it was going well. So essentially with 2 of the 4 clinics that I'm working with, results are really good, so I'm not crazy worried about all of that. With the other 2, there's one that, well, I mean, both campaigns again have just started, so it's like not bad. Like one of them, the lead cost is good, it's just about the conversion, and there is somebody that my booking person has already told me about, that we've got kind of like a callback scheduled with, and who wants to come for consultation. And then from there, maybe able to get that one person booked in, and see if we can get hold of all the other people. So there's more things I can do there in terms of thinking around, okay, she's on between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. What can I do to make sure that before then and after then, things are taken care of? And that's where things like voice and conversation AI for my clients comes into play as well, surrounding like just exactly how I do that, and make sure that they are kind of working 24/7, or just outside of those hours when she is working, to make sure that all leads are being followed up on, which would be great, and like seeing how exactly I can build out those systems. And then other than that, I also had a sales call with a doctor based out of Media City in Manchester. That went really well. He seemed like very happy with how exactly it was explained, essentially. And so I'm going to give him a ring back tomorrow, which technically is today because I'm recording this a bit later on. But at about 4 p.m, essentially to make sure that everything's okay in terms of when his previous agency that he's still kind of working with, trying to make sure he knows when they finish up, essentially. And he was speaking to me even on our intro call about just wanting to work with people that were serious, more professional, had proper reporting, things like that. And so in the sales call, I was just trying to put pressure upon that, essentially, around all of that, because the one he's working with at the minute I don't think is very good, and they just do kind of like paper appointment or whatever, which is the paper appointment, which is like, he was saying, it's kind of like 50 quid per appointment, and depending at the end of the month how many it is, they either you either get billed more or you refund. So it's essentially like a money back guarantee. It's just pay per appointment, which, yeah, with those kind of things. And I think it was something that I made him realise, which was, well, with that model, like what kind of success are you getting in terms of, the type of agencies that are trying to, use that model. They're just trying to they're ultimately, like doing everything that they're doing in a way to make it seem like they're reducing risk for you. But at the end of the day, no matter if you get your money back at the end of it, the time and the fact that you've had to spend money on the ads and the fact that they haven't done that well means that whether you get the money refunded or not, you're still in a really bad situation comparably if you're working with someone that was good and it cost a bit more. So I think I kind of won that battle in a sense of like showing the value. And I think honestly, me doing the 90 days for 1800 is very reasonable in terms of there being no additional performance bonuses from that, which there definitely should be. So yeah, essentially just gonna call him back. Like, honestly, it was weird because I was kind of happy to let him go in terms of the follow-up. Like I said one thing, which was that, well, would it be crazy for me to say put down 200 quid so that when we speak tomorrow, if for whatever reason you don't want to go ahead, I can refund it, but at least it's some commitment in terms of what you're saying, and so I know that you're actually coming on board. And he essentially said no, because he was like, I just want to find out when exactly it is that we finish up, and there wouldn't be any issues in me being able to go ahead from there. And maybe naively I believed him, but we shall see. We shall see if that works out in my favour or messes me up a bit. But other than that, I also have a sales call tomorrow as well at 1:00. So there's another opportunity. At the minute, my ads are off because I wanted to focus on client results for a second and just think about everything in terms of, am I good in terms of cash flow and having the money to run ads? Do I need to change the budget? Do I need to change the campaign? That's gonna obviously vary based on the outcomes of these sales calls, because obviously in theory, if I do both of them and have them on, then that's 3.6k contracted from calls that originated from about £800, I think. So that I spent on the ads. So that means that there would be an ROI, and the ads technically did work. But either way, even if they don't, there is some money there still to be able to put towards ads, so that I can run better campaigns. And what I mentioned before as well is that I have booked in for Friday a essentially meeting with my older mentor. I've kind of booked 3 sessions in, well, kind of bought 3 sessions essentially, booked the first one in, and then the other 2 I can just kind of have as and when obviously both calendars allow, and we'll be able to do that. So yeah, everything's a lot more positive when you actually take time to think, okay, what's holding me back? How do I improve upon this? And everything that goes along with that. So yeah, happy about it and ready to rock and roll and make sure that I'm fixing these things, and then kind of speaking with my mentor as well to see if he can pick out some things that I'm not doing, or I think it will be good as an accountability thing as well for me to basically say, what do I need to do to get to this level? And he just says that this is the block of work that you need to do. And then I can just go away and do that, and it'll probably take a while. But then at least there's no point in the day where I can be like, I'm not sure what to spend my time on, because I will know exactly what it is that I need to do to get to the next point. So yeah, that was day 112, I believe. Yep. And obviously you'll see the next video after this one. But yeah, in the evening of today, of this video anyway, after work, after doing that sales call, I headed off to, what do you call it? I headed off to Romford, which is kind of like in the East London area, which is where my girlfriend is from. So obviously before you would have seen that we are both up, kind of a bit up north in at our like uni places in a sense. But given the fact that I'm back, and she's on the break, that means that I'm here, and then I'm pretty much going to be staying in Southend a fair amount to work, and then I'll be going up to kind of Birmingham, depending on like timings essentially and coach prices and stuff like that, which would be good for me to be able to come up and yeah, just grinding away on the business, trying to get myself in the best position for like August, September, where I'll be able to go over to Paris a bit more frequently and start to hopefully enjoy the fruits of my labour a bit more as we start getting there more and more slowly and slowly.